As we keep our back erect, side cast down, and see the floor in front of us or whatever is there, we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. We continue in this manner to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy. And we allow the body to be the way it is. Which way? to be heavy. And we allow the body to be the way it is, and therefore we achieve freedom from worry about the body. Now, when we gave freedom to the body to be like it is, we do not need to worry how it is. And that is peace. So let's enjoy this peace. Let's enjoy this freedom from worry. Now let's share this peace with other living beings. We can start in our room. In our room, there may be another human being, or at least there may be some animals or insects. Whoever is there, we will allow them to enjoy at least as much peace as we are enjoying now. So in our minds, voicelessly, we can wish, we can allow, may all beings in this room be in peace. And we can gradually expand our thoughts of loving kindness. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. And during this 1 minute that still remains, we will curiously watch the relationship between the mind and our permission to all beings and ourselves to be in peace. Is the mind, with this permission, is the mind strong? Is this relationship between the mind and the permission strong? So we are here watching whether we are still permitting all beings and ourselves to be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. Alright. So, Rere, why did you come late? What happened? Do you know about that we start at your 9:30 Myanmar time?
I forgot.
You forgot about it. Okay, that's fine. So, now let's move on to reciting. Today we will be reciting in the Sri Lanka pronunciation. And because you already know it, I will actually not show you the paper. So you can everyone unmute and keep your hands together at the chest. Okay, Rere can also unmute. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. So now you can repeat after me. Aham bhante tisaranena saha panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva silang detha me bhante anukampang upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante tisaranena saha panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva silang detha me bhante anukampang upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante tisaranena saha panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva silang detha me bhante anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Sarana-gamanang paripunnang. Very well. So now come the 5 precepts. The first one means I follow the rule of refraining from killing living beings. Panatipata veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. The second rule means I follow the rule of refraining from taking what is not given. It means we never steal. Adinnadana veramani. Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. The third precept means I follow the rule of refraining from sexual misconduct. It means if you are married, if you have a husband or wife, you never fall in love with anyone else. Kame sumichhachara. Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. The fourth precept means I follow the precept of refraining from false speech. It means we never tell lies. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Very well. The fifth precept means I follow the precept of refraining from drinking alcohol and taking drugs. Sura meraya majjapamadatthana. Seems like you're lost. Some of you are lost, so let's try it again. Sura meraya majja. Pamadatthana. So let's try that together. Sura meraya majja pamadatthana. I see you're still lost, so let's train this. Sura meraya majja. May, can you join us? Sura meraya majja. Pamadatthana. Okay, so now May alone. Only May. Sura meraya majjapamadhatthana. Forgot it? Sura meraya majjapamadhatthana. Sura meraya majja. Sura meraya. So now can you try again? Sura. Yes. Meraya. Majja. Sura meraya. Sura meraya. Sura meraya. Majja. Sura meraya majja. So let's try that. Sura meraya. Sura meraya. Sura meraya. Sura meraya. Majja. Pamadhatthana. 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 Very well. So now everyone can continue. Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Very well. So now I will encourage you all to follow these three refuges and 5 precepts very well and make effort mindfully, and you can then reply Ama Bhante. So let's try that together. Tisaranena sadhing panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakkitang katva apamadena sampadetham. Okay, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do. Okay, so you see there is still something that you can learn and that you can train. So hopefully next time you will try again. Whenever you're reciting, try to recite exactly as I recite. Try to remember what I say so that you have there the progress, and gradually you can remember it all. Nice. So previous class I gave you the first 5 courses of good action, right? The courses of good action. So Rere, were you here, and can you tell us what were those 5? You were not here, but I think we published them in the Viber group, right? So Rere, do you have access to our Viber group? Rere, did you notice the 5 courses of good action in our Viber group? Excuse me? No. So I'm going to send them to you here so you can write them down. Everybody had to write them down, so it's good if you can write them down too. And today I would like to ask everyone to write down the remaining 5. So make sure you write your date. So for most of you it is December 10, 2022. For Array it is December 11. And the 5 good actions from 6 to 10 are in here. The first one is rejoicing of another one's good deeds. So if someone else gives to someone, or if someone else meditates, or someone else follows rules, then you need to be happy about that. Number 7 is when you do good deeds, you can think of your grandmas, your grandpas, your grand-grandmas, grand-grandpas, and you can wish them that they enjoy this good deed, that they enjoy the results of this good deed regardless where they are born in the world. The 8th one is when you listen to the Buddha's teachings, like when you listen to my explanations or to other monks' explanations. Number 9 is when you yourself teach the Buddha's teachings. And number 10 is when you appreciate the previous 9 things and you trust that those are good things to do. All right, so you can start writing, and whenever you are finished with writing, please raise your hand so that I know what's the situation. May has a question. What is it? I'm listening, May.
I need to check my dad's phone. Maybe dad's phone to write on the notebook. No, they didn't.
Okay, so I'm waiting for all of you to copy it down. Okay, seems like Al and Daniel are finished. May wants to say something.
Where's the spear?
I don't hear you. What's going on? May, what did you say?
The lake disappeared. Hmm?
I don't understand. What are you saying? May, can you explain to me what is this?
The lake is not on vibrate.
I see. No need to use Viber at this moment. Now make sure that you copy the text in the chat box for today, starting from the number 6. So we are still waiting for May and Allison to finish copying. So we are still waiting for May to finish her copying. May, have you finished your copying? You haven't finished, so please continue fast. We are waiting for you. So May, have you finished?
No.
So we are waiting for you. Please continue. How much did you already copy? Did you copy 6, 7, and 8? May. May, did you already copy number 6, 7, and 8?
No.
What did you copy so far? Can you read to us what did you copy? May, what did you write down? Can you read for us what did you write down? May, can you please read for us what did you write down? Yes, can you please check on your sister and tell us what did she write down so far? Did she actually copy what she had to copy?
She just started on number 6.
She just started on number 6. Okay, well, that's good. So at least she started. Can you please make sure that May will copy it all after this class?
Okay.
Thank you. That's great. So we can move on. We have still at least 5 minutes for ourselves. So let's move on as you already know, we were talking about the Buddha to be meeting a recluse on the way to the royal garden. And yes, so everyone can remove your Zoom hands. And so the charioteer explained to the Buddha to be, to the prince, who is a recluse. And one of the main characteristics of a recluse is what? That a recluse trains in these 10 courses of good action. So what you have written are these 10 courses of good action. A good ascetic, a good person who lives in the forest, follows these good actions. But you also need to follow these good actions. It is of utmost importance that you train in them and that you practice them as much as you can. So what do? You practice generosity. You give to others what they need when you have it. Number 2, ethics. You follow the 5 precepts. Number 3, you meditate. Number 4, you pay respect to monks and to your parents and to elder people. Number 5, you help and support monks and elder people whenever they need. If you are sitting and they're standing, you need to stand up and allow the elder people to sit down. If they're carrying heavy bags, you come up and politely ask, if you need, I will carry this bag for you. They may refuse. If they refuse, it doesn't matter. If they don't refuse, you help them. Then, number 6, you are happy if someone else does those good things. Number 7, when you do good things, especially if you give something to someone, let's say you give your cake to your friend, or you give your apple or fruit to someone else, or you support someone else with something, then you can think of your grandpa, grandma who do not live anymore, if they still do not, if they already do not live, or your grandpa, grandma, and others, and you can think wherever they are now, may they enjoy from my good actions. Number 8, you listen to the Buddha's teachings. Well, whenever you come here to our class, you listen to the Buddha's teachings. Number 9, teaching the Buddha's teachings. You can actually share with others what you have learned in this class, and that is a good deed. That is a good thing to do. And number 10, agree that the previous 9 things are good things to do. So these are the 10 courses of good action. And now let's look at how exactly did the charioteer explain it to the recluse, to the prince. So we have here the mention that the charioteer says a recluse follows these 10 courses of good action, And also that the recluse wears bark-dyed clothes. What is that? It means that the recluse wear clothes which were boiled together with bark. And as the bark colored the water in which the bark was boiled, when the clothes were put into that water from the boiled bark, the clothes also get the color of that bark. So this is bark-dyed clothes. Actually, this is how monks wear robes. I also wear robes. My robes are not boiled together with bark, but my robes are boiled with the assumed same color that bark can give. So our robes today usually are boiled with chemicals. However, we believe that those chemicals probably give the same color as the bark. All right, then who is the recluse next? The recluse is also someone who follows these 10 kinds of good action, which are free from any fault, which are clean and pure. And also recluse is someone who has gone forth from the worldly life. What is that? Well, if you are at home, you live your worldly life. That means you take care of your family, you take care of money, of job, of your car, of your house, and so on. That is called the worldly life. But if you become a monk, if you become a recluse, you do not care about money or house or car or children and so on. Instead, you care about your mind. You care about your mind. So your main object of training is your mind. You care whether you have good mental states in your mind and whether you are free from negative mental states in your mind. So the main job of monks and recluses is to take care of their mind. So then, what's next? A good recluse refrains from ill-treating sentient beings. What does that mean? It means that a recluse does not harm anyone. So a recluse does not harm anyone. A recluse radiates loving kindness to everyone. That's what a recluse does. You also should do that. But recluses and monks, they dedicate long time to this practice and they follow it very deeply. So look at this. Recluse works for the promotion of their welfare. It means recluses, monks, try to create happiness and success in the lay people, in the living beings. So this is what the charioteer explained, and now we have here a little comment. What does the comment say here? Although the charioteer had no knowledge of a recluse or his virtues, since it was a time prior to the appearance of the Buddha and his teachings, so the charioteer could not understand who is a monk. But he did explain it to the Buddha to be. So how could he explain what is monk if he did not know what is monk? And the answer is that the recluse was talking through the supernatural power of gods. So deities, gods, these spiritual beings in heaven, they entered the mind of the charioteer and they were speaking through the mouth of the charioteer. That is what is mentioned in here. So gods, deities, they are very powerful. They also live in heaven. In the Buddha's teachings, we believe in gods, but we do not believe that there is any God who created the world. So in the Buddha's teachings, we believe in 0 gods. And at the same time, we believe in many gods. So how does that happen? Because we believe that there is no God who created the world. So zero God creator. But there are many gods who live in heaven. None of them created the world, but they are many and they live in heaven. And now be careful, there is a problem with this. Because these gods who live in heaven, they will die. Maybe you know from games or from stories that gods do not die. But that is wrong. Gods die. Except that it is after a long time. So you as humans, you may live 80 years, 100 years, 120 years. But gods live million years, billion years, trillion years. But after that million, billion, trillion years, they die. So these are gods. Gods live in heaven. They did not create the world, and they live long time, and then they die. They die and they are born again somewhere else, maybe as a human. Maybe you, in your past life, were a god. And then you died and you are born here. It is very possible. Maybe after you die in this life, you will be born in heaven as a god. Who knows? But be careful, because if you are born as a god, you will die again. And then again, you may be born as a god or as a human. But be careful, because if you make a mistake and you kill or steal, commit adultery, tell lies, or drink alcohol, you may not be born as a human or a god. You may be born as a mosquito, or as a fly, or as a worm, or as a lion, or elephant, or lizard, or a fox, or squirrel, or a bird, or a ghost, or in hell, boiling in a boiling water. You never know. So gods have their limited life, and they have a lot of powers. And one of their powers is that they can speak through someone else's mouth. And that's what happened to the charioteer of the prince. We know that in Myanmar, recently, the Venerable Master Mahasi Sayadaw also was visited by a god through his meditator student who spoke to him by the god. So a god spoke to the master through the mouth of the young lady. That discussion is fully recorded. We have the full recording of the discussion. Mahasi Sayadaw asked the young lady a lot of interesting questions about gods and heaven. So we have all of that recorded. And that's it. That's all what I wanted to share with you today. So do you have any question, anything you would like to say? No question. Very good. Yes, Alison?
Can the Buddha die?
The Buddha, yes, of course. The Buddha dies, but he is not born again. So he does not die again. That's why we say that the Buddha does not die, because usually when beings die, they are born again. But the Buddha, when he died, he was not born again. So we say that the Buddha did not die, but we say that the Buddha ceased. He ceased into Nibbana. because the Buddha does not return to the world anymore. Okay, so this is about the Buddha. The Buddha dies, but for the last time. So the Buddha is not in danger that he would be born, as an animal or in hell or somewhere else where he would die again. He is totally free from the cycle of rebirth. Yes, Daniel?
If the Buddha that never dies, then how come we have a Buddha like every 10,000 years?
I don't understand. Can you please explain?
Like, is the Buddha the same Buddha always, or are they different?
It is always the different. Always a different Buddha. So every long time comes a new Buddha, and that Buddha is totally different. That's a totally someone else. All of you can also become Buddhas. Yes. If someone has not become enlightened yet, they can become Buddha. If you become enlightened this life, you cannot become Buddha anymore because you became enlightened already. Someone who becomes enlightened in this time when the teachings is available, they cannot become a Buddha, but through their enlightenment, they can help others to meet with the real Buddha. So as you can see, there are three kinds of Buddhas. The pupil Buddha, the silent Buddha, and the rightly and fully awakened Buddha. Three different kinds of Buddha. You cannot become two or three. You can always choose one, and that is all what you can do. So do you want to become a pupil Buddha or the silent Buddha, or do you want to become the rightly and fully awakened Buddha? In Theravada Buddhism, we believe that it is extremely difficult to become rightly and fully awakened Buddha. So most of the people in Theravada Buddhism, in this school that I'm teaching you, want to become the pupil Buddhas. They, as pupil Buddhas, follow the big Buddha's teachings, and they get free from the cycle of rebirth. Some others, they want to become silent Buddhas because they want to get great powers and they want to get great wisdom. Silent Buddhas have incredible great powers and a lot of wisdom. Pupil Buddhas do not have that. But it is much easier to become pupil Buddha. So you need to know, what do you want? Do you want to get wisdom and powers, or do you want to get free from cycle of rebirth? And the point is that we should get free from cycle of rebirth. However, if you are brave and if you are very powerful, you may wish to be the rightly and fully awakened Buddha. But that takes a long time. Very long time. It takes millions of lives. It takes very long time. It's almost never happening, but in the end it does happen. You also, if you want to become rightly and fully awakened Buddha, you will need to get approval of a real Buddha. That means you cannot decide to be rightly and fully awakened Buddha this life, because we do not have the full Buddha, the big Buddha available. The big Buddha passed away about 2,500 years ago, and another Buddha may come after several millions of years. So before you meet with the rightly and fully awakened Buddha, you may lose your opportunity to become enlightened, and you may miss the next Buddha, and in the end, you get nothing at all. So this is the risk. Becoming a rightly and fully awakened Buddha is a big thing, and many fail. Many people want to become the rightly, fully awakened Buddha. They totally fail, and in the end, anyway, become pupil Buddhas because they don't want to wait so long time. So in Theravada Buddhism, in our school of Buddhism, we mostly aspire to become pupil Buddhas, not not silent Buddhas or rightly and fully awakened Buddhas. However, if you are very brave, if you believe that you must become the rightly and fully awakened Buddha and help millions and millions of living beings to become enlightened, well, then go for it. I decided that I want to become a pupil Buddha. So that is my way. But if you want to become rightly and fully awakened Buddha, you can. Think about it. Again, the problem is that to become a pupil Buddha, this life might be enough for you. You maybe have already done good deeds in your past lives, and this life you're just waiting. Well, you need to train a lot. You just need to train a lot to become a pupil Buddha. But if you want to help millions and millions of good living beings, well, then you may decide to become rightly and fully awakened Buddha. In that case, you also need to become a monk or a nun and work very hard to fulfill the necessities, the necessary qualities to become the rightly and fully enlightened Buddha. In both cases, you need to make extraordinary effort. In both cases, you need to meditate and follow rules and study the Buddha's teachings. Except that a rightly and fully awakened Buddha to be in this life is not allowed to become enlightened, even though he can or she. All right, so hopefully that's clear. Any question about that? No question. Nice. So it was a pleasure to see you today, and I hope you to see you again next week. Today we didn't have many students, right? Daniel or Allison, any idea why we don't have so many students? Do you have some holidays or something big happening in the US today?
I don't think so. Maybe people are taking a break extra early from Christmas. I'm not sure because, yeah.
I see.
Maybe people are Christmas shopping or gifts.
You think that the kids are shopping in the supermarket?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. So let's see how many of us will come next week. If next week is closer to Christmas, and then the other week is a Christmas day, right? We will have a class on a Christmas day. Not actually, that will be the, you call it night. It's the Christmas night, right? 24th, it will be your 24th night. For Rare, is she? Christmas Eve, yes. So on Christmas Eve, we will have a class on Christmas Eve. So I'm curious. Did we have a class like that also on Christmas Eve last year?
I think we had it on Christmas.
We had something on Christmas, right? Maybe one day, not exactly that day, right?
Didn't we do like something like fun, like coloring or something? No, we did a treasure hunt, right?
You were, yes, that's right.
Related.
That's right. And that was actually, we had a class, I now see in the calendar, exactly on the Christmas Day. Last year it was exactly Christmas Day. Now it will be Christmas Eve. Nice. So we'll have an interesting class. Let's see how many students will come on Christmas Day. I'm looking forward to see it. Alan wants to say something? Alan is playing. Okay, so hope to see you next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Venerable Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.